Hi, welcome back. We're going to take a look at some Sega controllers, um, and these are probably some of the worst controllers ever made. they're just awful. But these were um, in quotes unknown condition, which is basically a byword for doesn't work. So I had a Master System, and this is the one that came with it. So that's completely knackered, and the cables hanging off, and most of there's only one button left. The D-pad's disappeared, but there is some of this material. So maybe if these don't work, there's bits that could be salvaged. I really don't know. Let's have a look anyway. Let's open this bad boy up. Okay, so the board itself, it looks horrible. I mean, it's actually quite badly corroded, but it's probably salvageable. There's not much, I mean, as you can see, there's not much to it. But the thing that might be salvageable is actually the carbon pads here. So if these carbon pads are gone, maybe I'm hoping that a lot of it is just some corrosion. So first thing I need to do is to do a quick test. So we're going to focus on this one first. Get my helping hands out. So I've got a pin out there. Okay. Yeah, so the routing of the cable is a bit annoying, but it goes around that way underneath the circuit board and then pops out there. So that should be okay. Nice. Well, that works. I think before I do a final assembly, I'm going to have to clean this because this looks disgusting. So I'm going to get some and get the rubber bits off there, and all the plastic bits I'm going to put in the wash, give it a bit of a scrub. Right, so that's the components for one working unit, which is great. One down, one to go, because practically this other one is completely it's just knackered. So let's test this one as well. Right then, same procedure. So 8 is our ground, and let's do way 8 is our ground. And let's start testing them. So we got up. Whoa, that feels broken inside. Yeah, something in there doesn't feel right. It's not giving at all. Let's test the rest of them. Down. Down works. Left works. Right doesn't work. Okay. What about the buttons? Button 1, nope. Button 2, maybe. Button 2, don't know. Yeah, this one seems problematic. So let's put the working unit to one side. All these bits and pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. The plastic bits, which I've got to sort out. them on there out of the way. And this one needs some repair work. So I'm hoping that maybe there can be some merging of the broken bits. So this hasn't been opened either. You can tell by that clack. Same as the other one. But it doesn't feel mechanically sound going up or going right. So something is snapped or whatever. Let's open that up. The posts seem okay, and actually the buttons seem alright. There it is. That's the problem. So the actual corner of this D-pad has snapped off. It's left a jagged edge. Yeah, there's part of it there, look, you can see. So that may not be fixable without a replacement D-pad, replacement plastic component. Let's just clean it up because that's an easy win. So is there anything else in there? Let's let those go. Now, if we put this back, help if I get it around the right way. Okay, so yeah, those little pins seem to be okay. So let's put that there. So this needs to move nice in here, but I don't think there's enough of it to stay in one place. Yeah, it just pops out. I think that is a weakness in this design. Funnily enough, that one also doesn't have this bit. I think the whole thing is sheared off. So I don't think there's anything to actually hold it. If I'd had fiddled around with it a bit more, it probably would have just come off. Yeah, that's not going to work at all. All right, so this needs a replacement one of these. In fact, this bit looks a lot nicer. And so does, well, no, actually that other one's a bit scratched up. Right, so this all just needs cleaning. Which is nicer, that one's probably nicer, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this anyway. And I wonder whether it's possible to get a replacement one of these. Maybe there's a 3D printed thing. That might be quite a nice solution. We've got potentially one working pad after I've cleaned it all up. But this one, I mean, that's basically knackered. It's just not possible to fix it with, you can see the edge there. It's been sheared off, probably with excessive enthusiasm. But there you go. Anyway, I'm going to get this cleaned up, and then I'll see about getting a replacement or maybe even making one. I'm not sure. In fact, before I do that, let me just show you. So this is a comparison. So this is the one that's broke. This is the one that's working, but it's only working probably for a bit because it's actually cracked all the way along there. So I think it would work for a bit, but it's at some point going to fail. Look at that there. So it'd probably be all right, but then that would definitely, there's a weakness in the design, that was definitely going to crack. So if I'm going to get a replacement, I need to get two to make sure this other one lasts a bit longer. Interesting. Well, my 3D printer has been busy. So I've created a 3D printed version of the D-pad. It's a bit scrappy, but that obviously spins like that, and that spins as well, so it doesn't look too bad. It's obviously got a lot of swarf on it, so I need to just gently take some of the swarf off. Be careful I don't chop my bloody fingers. Doesn't look too bad. Obviously, this is typical of 3D printing. You end up with crap inside. What I'll probably end up doing is modifying the model so that there's a plate there, because there's a hole in that one, which is cool, but I think from a aesthetics point of view, and maybe even a strength point of view, it's better to have that filled in and use more plastic. But hey, yeah, so there is some work to be done on that. But the important thing is, does it actually fit? Let's find out. So I've washed these, just soap and water, and they've come up, well, I think they've come up reasonably well. They were a bit grubby before. I mean, they're a bit scratched up, but hey, these have been in the wars, and they weren't great when they were made. Let's be brutally honest. Okie doke. So we're gonna have bit of that, a couple of buttons. I didn't 3D print the buttons. The buttons are fine. Obviously, the contrast between colours is not brilliant, but hey, what the hell. Okay, so that goes in there. No, it doesn't. How does this go together again? I think we've got to put the circuit board in first. So we go from this side. Well, actually, that doesn't look too bad. It's a bit weird. It's a bit weird, but hey. Good ink. And goes like that. That one goes like that. And then we overlay these over the top. That one. And that one. We've got to thread this through here. This tortuous path. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to test this properly until I've actually screwed it in, because what I've noticed in the past is you get over enthusiastic and then everything pops out. It's better to have it all. Yeah, I'm only going to test. Oh, that's the wrong screwdriver. I'm only going to test this properly once it's actually screwed in place, because the typical thing is you start testing it without it screwed in and all the bits fly out everywhere. What I do have to do is find the right screwdriver. I had the perfect one. It seems to have disappeared. Grab one of these. This should be fine. Well, it kind of works. Let's test it electrically and see whether that works. Right, so I've got that set up. It's a little bit sensitive, but that's up. That's good. And that's down. That's good. Left and right. Excellent. Wow. Okay, I need to get this rigged up. But yeah, okay. Anyway, that's cool. So that works. Looks weird, but yeah, that's not too bad. I think with a bit of cleaning up, it's going to be okay. I think it would be nicer if those buttons were done as well, but it doesn't feel as nice as those. I've got to be honest. It's not ideal, but you know, for a rough job, this kind of works. So I need to get another one of these printed off, which I'll do in a bit, and then that's it for now. So those are these two units repaired. The other one is kind of beyond repair, really. What I don't have, so I've got that bit. That's fine. I've got all the bits and pieces. But what I don't have are these, or the buttons. I suppose what I could do actually is 3D print the whole thing. 3D print that and two buttons, and you can buy these. Yeah, you can buy these pads. That's cool. Yeah, that could be a good one. So I could, in theory, repair this as well, and that would be, you know, back from the brink, because everything else is fine. That would be the ultimate repair, because both of those will be done, and I have to get a new rubber bit. One thing I have noticed is that the other controller, the rubber bits are actually separated out, and I'm not sure how good that's going to be. So if you look in here, they go that way, but actually there's nothing, even though there are holes there, they don't actually do anything. There's nothing underneath it in the bottom pad that have holes to align it, and there's nothing on the actual circuit board. So maybe they were just sort of standard ones that were punched out. It should work okay, because I guess once it's mashed into place and it's, you know, with the circuit board and stuff, it's probably going to be all right. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be fine. It's just that it's the other one, these two are actually linked, but anyway, it is what it is. So that is the other one that I need to repair. That's fine. So I'm going to get another print. So to recap, print off another one of these for that, print off another one for this, but make a model for these two buttons. I think that'll be good. After that, I've got actually got no way of testing it. I have a Master System, but that's untested at the moment, and I don't know. I haven't got any games, so I don't know what would happen without a cartridge. I don't think it loads, so I've got no way of testing it directly on the unit itself. But I was thinking about getting an SD adapter for it, but that's for a future video. See you next time. Cheers.